Hello lelei, family and friends, my name is Brent and I'm from the Good Start program. Today we are going to be making otai. Now in English, the otai is basically a watermelon drink. This recipe that we're going to make is made up of about 3 ingredients, which are watermelon, some pineapple, here we go, some light thickened cream. Okay, so traditionally you would normally make these things with watermelon, pineapple and a sweetened condensed milk, maybe with some shredded coconut. But to make this recipe healthier, we will continue to use the watermelon, the pineapple, but we're going to swap out the sweetened condensed milk for a light thickened cream. It's a very simple process to make and we're going to show you how to make it right now. The first thing you want to do is grab your watermelon, so just quickly unwrap it. I'm just going to slice it up into manageable pieces because what we're going to do next is grate it. This watermelon wants to fight me. Make sure you wash your hands first. Are watermelons in season?
I guess so, because they're cheap at the moment.
Yeah, they're pretty inexpensive right now, so it must mean that they are in season. So once you've done that, you want to grab your bowl, and what we're going to do is grate the watermelon. This is a pretty good recipe you can get your kids involved in. Just make sure you watch them as they grate the watermelon. So we're going to get a fork and we're going to show you how to use it. Thank you, Alkin. Okay, so with the fork, all you want to do is... Okay, that is hella messy to do. So yeah, pretty easy. Just cutting for me. Grab your bowl back and we're going to grate the remainder of the watermelon. Just watch your fingers at this point. Yeah, watermelon, obviously it's in the name, water, keeps you hydrated. Also it does have a lot of vitamin A, and vitamin A is good for your eyesight. Okay, so make sure you get the kids involved for this nice activity, especially leading up to the school holidays. They're on their screens too much, and get them off them.
Can I be a special guest in the video?
Oh, yeah, you can taste it if you want. Okay, didn't think it was going to take this long. It's also a good way to incorporate fruit into your child's diet. Maybe you can present the fruit in another way that they might eat it. And this is a great way to do that. The next thing we're going to do is to add the pineapple. Now we're just using a can of crushed pineapple. And we've drained the juice out of it. But you can also use a normal pineapple and then cut it up and do the same thing and grate it into the otai as well. But this is just 1 can of crushed pineapple and just add that straight into the bowl. So we try not to add more sugar that's not necessary, which is why we've decided to use the light thickened cream instead of the sweetened condensed milk. So I'm going to add this one in now. And that's basically it. Hey, this just gives it a bit of a milky texture, a milky flavour, and makes it a bit thicker. But I'm going to add the whole bottle, and this is a 300 gram bottle of... 300 grams, is it? Oh, look at that. Okay, so the condensed milk has 55 grams of sugar per 100 grams, and then the thickened cream has less than 4 grams of sugar per 100 grams. In 100 grams of sweetened condensed milk, there's 13 teaspoons of sugar. If I put the whole can of sweetened condensed milk in here, which is what we usually do, there's 52 teaspoons of sugar in the sweetened condensed milk in this drink. Okay, so we have made a healthier alternative by swapping out the condensed milk and putting in the thickened cream instead. There's already enough sweetness from the pineapple and the watermelon. We don't need to add more sugar to it. And that's it, eh? That's it. Let me grab some ice. The other thing that you can do with this is that if you do have leftovers, you can just put it into an ice tray and you can freeze them and make like little ice pops. Good to take to your summer barbecues or good to have for Christmas. and we're going to do a final taste test, but I've got my nephew here who wants to be on the show. We're going to serve my nephew first. Come here. This is Ezra. Say hello.
Hey guys, how are you?
Cheers.
Pretty refreshing. I think it's just good for a nice sort of day, but it's a healthier version of what you usually have. Recommend the kids out.
Thank you. Alright, so thank you Ezra for coming on, and why don't you try making this one at home? Good way to give to kids who refuse to eat their fruit, but a different way to present fruit to them. Go out there, go make it, show us, comment, like, subscribe, tell us what you want us to make, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace! Taumafa, and welcome back to our show. Healthy guy makes healthy kai. Taumafa friends and family, my name is Brent from the Good Start program, and today I am going to be making Koko Alaisa. Yum!
Have you ever made Koko Alaisa before?
I have never made Koko Alaisa before, but I am keen to try it. However, I have tasted a lot of Koko Alaisas, different versions of people's interpretation of what Koko Alaisa is. So basically, Koko Alaisa is cocoa rice. That's like chocolate rice. It can be you can have it. You can have it hot or cold. I do have my dad on standby who might come and help us during the process. So here are the ingredients that you need. You will need rice. Okay, we're not going to use this whole 5 kg. We're not going to use the whole 5 kg bag of rice. Light coconut cream, that is. Koko Samoa. So this is Koko Samoa. What is it made of?
I'm pretty sure it's cocoa beans. They get the cocoa beans and then they have to like cook it. So then they roast it, and then that's why it goes black, and then they crush it. What do you call those things?
Yeah, mortar and pestle.
That's the one.
Yeah, like we have one.
Hey, if you don't have one, it's fine. We have one. Maybe one of your siblings. Yeah, something like that, but it's bigger. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
this is the mortar and
crush
pestle.
it.
Okay, and the last ingredient you need is water. Okay, so we're just going to make a serving that's going to feed about 4 to 6 people. So I'm using 1 cup of rice, and I already have the rice in here. The first thing you need to do is to wash it, and what we're doing is washing off the starch from the rice and making sure that the rice is clean before we eat it. So I'm going to quickly wash the rice. So to wash the rice, I basically just pop the water in the pot, and basically all you're doing is just grabbing a bundle and then rubbing your hands together and just taking off that starch. Okay, that is how you wash the rice, and then you want to drain the water out and then repeat the process about 3 to 4 times. The next thing you want to do is you want to add 1 tub of water. I'm not even sure what the measurement on that. Okay, so I'm going to link the actual recipe that I'm using down below, and we're going to use 1 of these full containers of water. Pop your water in the pot, and then we're going to allow the rice to start cooking. The next thing you want to do while we allow that to cook is to start grating the koko. Normally you can just chop this up and pop it into boiling water and kind of melt it down, but then that also kind of leaves chunks. Where does the koko come from?
Samoan.
Our rice is starting to get into a boiling point. So traditionally in Samoa they usually have this Koko Alaisa for breakfast, for the kids. So I think this is a good recipe to try for your children if you have children, instead of feeding them things like Fruit Loops and Cocoa Pops, because at least in this you can control the amount of sugar that's going into it. Alright, so while the rice is boiling, something else you can add to this dish to add a little bit more flavour and maybe reduce the amount of sugar is to add these lemon leaves in there. We're just going to add about 3 lemon leaves, and I'm just going to rip them in half to allow the release of aromas and flavours in there, and we're just going to drop that in there just like that, and then give that a stir. So just with the Koko Samoa, they usually come in little packs like this. That's because they make it in those polystyrene cups. You can find these from any Indian spice shop, and predominantly in areas where there are a lot of Māori Pacific Island demographic. So I've got this from Woodridge. Okay, if you don't have this ingredient, you can substitute it for cocoa powder. It'll just be a different kind of flavour, but it's same. It's much of a muchness really. But you just can't call it Koko Alaisa, you have to call it Koko Alaisa. I'm just going to give it a taste just to make sure it's cooked. Oh, a little bit more. take some more in. Just going to add some more water. It's looking a bit thick. And we already boiled the kettle, so we'll just add it straight from here.
More.
And then keep on stirring. Alright, so if your rice mixture is getting a bit thick, all you need to do is just add more water. Now that our rice is cooked, we're going to add the koko samoa. So just pop the whole thing in there. And then we're going to watch the magic happen. And then start stirring. Oh no, there's no more gas. Sorry, malfunction. Okay, and then the last thing you want to do is add our light coconut cream. Okay, and we're only going to use half a can. Mix the coconut cream through, and then we only have one more ingredient to add, which is optional, and that is our sugar. So, okay, and for the sugar, we're adding about 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. Okay, which in portion sizes, when you divvy this out between 4 to 6 people, there's not that much sugar. So, thanks chef. Well, there you have it. This is our Koko Alaisa. Why don't you give it a try at home? Nice meal to make for your kids for breakfast. Try making this for them. I'm sure they will enjoy it 100%. Alright, we'll see you next week. We look forward to what we're going to be making you next week.
Let's go.
Bye.